Have you ever had an idea so big, so revolutionary, that the world just wasn't ready for it? Today, we're diving into the mind of a man who saw our electric future while everyone else was still living in a world powered by steam. This is the story of how Nikola Tesla's greatest dream was born. And right here, this is the key to understanding everything about Tesla. He wasn't just some guy tinkering with wires in a workshop. No, his real laboratory was inside his own head. He could build, test, and perfect entire machines just by visualizing them. It was an incredible gift, but as we'll see, it was also a terrible burden. So, to really get how groundbreaking Tesla's vision was, we have to travel back in time. You need to forget everything you know about clean, quiet power. We're going to a world of grit, noise, and a whole lot of smoke. Just picture it. The streets are cobblestone, and the only light comes from the flickering, kind of creepy glow of gas lamps. The air is thick, and I mean thick, with smoke pouring out of huge factory chimneys. The soundtrack of the city isn't the hum of an electric grid, it's the constant hiss and clank of massive steam engines. That was the world. That was reality. Now, don't get me wrong, electricity existed, but it was Thomas Edison's baby, direct current, or DC. And honestly, it had some major flaws. It was weak, it lost power really fast over distance, which meant you'd need a power station on practically every city block just to keep the lights on. It was a nightmare. But Tesla, he was dreaming of something else, something his professors told him was impossible: alternating current, or AC, a current so powerful and efficient it could travel for hundreds of miles. The world had a huge power problem, and it didn't even know it yet. But here's the thing. Before Tesla could even think about solving the world's power problem, he first had to survive the absolute storm that was raging inside his own mind. You see, as a young man, Tesla's incredible mind kind of turned on him. He was slammed with these flashes of light, these unbelievably vivid images that he just couldn't control. He called them tormenting appearances. His senses went into overdrive, so much so that the normal tick of a watch sounded like a hammer banging in his ear. This wasn't just creative genius. It was a full-blown sensory overload that pushed him right to the edge of a nervous breakdown. So after he left university, his life was completely adrift. He bounced around from city to city, places like Prague and Budapest, working odd jobs. He even worked at a telephone exchange for a while. But the whole time, his brain was just obsessed with one single problem: how to tame alternating current, the very same idea his professors had called a fool's errand. All right, just before we get to the moment that changed absolutely everything, a quick pause. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, share, and like my videos. The information in the video is compiled from open sources. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to it. And now, we've arrived at the climax of his struggle. After all those years of mental chaos and turmoil, it all comes down to a single moment. A moment of pure, world-changing clarity. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? While other inventors were spending a fortune building physical prototypes that might or might not work, Tesla was running complex simulations in his head. He would literally build the machine, turn it on, find its flaws, and perfect it, all before he ever picked up a single tool. The year is 1882. Tesla's in Budapest, walking through a park with a friend. He's reciting poetry, Goethe's Faust, as the sun is setting. And then, bam, it happens. The answer to the AC motor, a puzzle that had stumped the greatest minds on the planet, just appears before him. It wasn't a vague idea. He saw it in a flash, fully formed, operating perfectly in his mind's eye. So what was this vision? What did he actually see? It was the rotating magnetic field. This was the secret sauce. Think about it. A motor that spins without any physical parts touching to make it go. No brushes, which meant no sparks and nothing to wear out. Just the invisible force of alternating currents creating a spinning magnetic field. It was elegant, it was efficient, and it's literally the principle our entire modern world runs on. And from that vision in a park came this. The physical result, the AC induction motor. It's simple, it's reliable, it's powerful. This little device was the key that would unlock the true power of electricity for all of humanity. In that moment, Tesla didn't just invent a new kind of motor. You could argue he invented the 20th century. But there was a pretty big problem. You see, finding the answer was one thing, but trying to convince a world that wasn't even asking the right questions, well, that turned out to be a whole different battle. So armed with this literally world-changing idea, Tesla goes to investors, to engineers all over Europe, and what does he get? Nothing. Blank stares, total indifference, rejection. Nobody could see what he saw. They were all stuck in their world of steam and clunky DC power,
And his vision for an AC future it was too much for them to even wrap their heads around.
And this story from his time working for the Continental Edison Company in Paris just says it all. The company had a disastrous failure at a DC power plant in Strasbourg. So who do they send to fix it? Tesla, of course. And he does it flawlessly. He was promised a huge bonus, $25,000, a fortune back then. But when he gets back to Paris, he gets the runaround. Passed from manager to executive, everyone telling him how brilliant he is, but nobody giving him the money. They loved his genius when it saved their skin, but they weren't about to pay for it, and they certainly didn't want to hear about his crazy new ideas.
So there he was, rejected, unpaid, and completely frustrated. Tesla realized his dream was going to die in Europe. He had to make one final, desperate leap of faith.
What happens next sounds like something out of a movie. He sells every single thing he owns to buy a ticket to America. Then, right before he leaves, his ticket, his money, and his luggage are all stolen. I mean, for anyone else, that would be it. Game over. But not for Tesla. He uses that incredible photographic memory of his, recalls the exact ticket number, and somehow convinces the officials to let him on the ship. He sets sail with literally nothing but the clothes he's wearing.
And so, he leaves it all behind, a lone genius on a steamship, heading for New York. He had already built the future in his head. Now he was crossing an ocean with no money, no connections, and nothing to his name except for that revolutionary vision burning inside him.
After the long journey across the Atlantic, after everything was said and done, when he finally stepped onto the docks in New York City, this is all the money he had left in his pocket. 4 cents.
And that's where we'll leave him for now, standing on the shores of a new world, practically broke. Which brings us to the big question. With only 4 cents in his pocket and a mind full of lightning, could one man really convince the entire world to abandon the age of steam for a dream?